Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? How's your health? Well, I hope that you're all fine and you're in the best of your health. Dear students, as you all know that we are learning about the human body, isn't it? In the last two videos, we learned about many systems of the human body, like we learned about the skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory system, isn't it? Now today we are going to learn about three more systems of the human body, that is nervous system, excretory system and the reproductive system. Today we are going to learn about these three systems of the human body. Now first of all, let us learn about the nervous system. My dear students, in all the animals, in humans, in small animals, big animals, birds, all the activities, all the functions, they are controlled, they are coordinated by the nervous system. All the functions, they are controlled and they are coordinated by which system? Nervous system, exactly. And this nervous system, our nervous system, it is made up of, it consists of highly specialized cells, and they are known as the neurons. What? Neurons. Our nervous system, it consists of cells and are known as neurons. Now, what is the function of these neurons? Neurons, they receive the information, they receive the stimuli from the external environment, from the internal environment, from the different body parts, and then it integrates them, it integrates the stimuli to give the response, So, our nervous system, it consists of the highly specialized cells, which are known as what? Neurons. Very good. Neurons, they receive the information, stimuli from different body parts and integrate them to determine the mode of response. This is about the neurons. Got it? So, our brain, it consists of what? Neurons. Now, what is the function of this nervous system? What is the function of our nervous system? What does this system do for us? As I told you earlier that this system, it controls and it coordinates all the functions of our body. Isn't it? All the physiological functions of our body. Now, its first function is to receive the input, to receive the stimuli. Nervous system, it first receives the input from the internal environment, from our internal body parts and from the external environment. Like, if we are feeling cold, it receives the input that yes, it is cold outside, so we need to cover our body, isn't it? So, function of this nervous system is to first receive the input. Then second thing it does, it processes that input. Like as I told you that if we are feeling cold, what it does, it receives the input that yes, it is cold outside. Then it processes. Then we get into our brain that yes, we need to wear warm clothes. We need to cover our body. So after that, we cover our body, and that is our response to that cold, isn't it? So the function of our nervous system, that is to receive the input, then process the input, and then to respond. Nervous system, it first receives the input, then it processes the input, and then it responds. Like our computer does, isn't it? What does our computer? What is the function of our computer? Our computer, it has the same function. First, it receives the input, it receives the data, isn't it? And then it processes the data, isn't it? It processes the information, and then it gives the output. In the same way, our nervous system, it first receives the input, it first receives the stimuli from outside, then processes that stimuli and then responds. Got it? So this is about the function of our nervous system. Now, my dear kids, our nervous system, it consists of the brain, it consists of the spinal cord, and it also consists of the nerves. Our nervous system, it consists of the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. Brain and spinal cord, they form the central nervous system. What? They form the central nervous system. Brain is the part of our central nervous system. It is present in the cranial cavity. That is, it is present, it is protected by the skull. Isn't it? Brain, it is the delicate organ of our body and it is protected by the skull. And our human brain, it weighs about 1200 to 1400 grams. It weighs about 1200 to 1400 grams. And our human brain, it is divisible into three parts. It is divisible into how many parts? Three parts. One is forebrain, second is midbrain, and the third one is hindbrain. What? First is forebrain, second is midbrain, and the third one is the hindbrain. Got it? So now this second part of our central nervous system, that is the spinal cord. Spinal cord, as you all know, that it runs through this vertebral column, isn't it? It is protected by the vertebral column. It lies in the center of this vertebral column, and it extends from the brain up to the last vertebrae, isn't it? So my dear kids, what is the function of this spinal cord? Spinal cord, it passes the stimuli from and to the brain. Spinal cord, it passes the stimuli from and to the brain. One more important function of this spinal cord is that it is the center of spinal reflex action. Spinal cord, it is the center of what? Spinal reflex action. What is reflex action? You all know, isn't it? Reflex action, exactly. What is reflex action? Very good. Reflex action, that is the quick response to a stimuli. If sometimes we touch any hot object, we remove our hand quickly, isn't it? Why? Because at that time the message is not sent to the brain. It takes a long time to send the message to the brain. So this our spinal cord, at that time our spinal cord, it orders our hand. Orders directly come from the spinal cord. It orders our hand to get away from that utensil, isn't it? From that hot utensil. So reflex action, it is the quick response to stimuli. Got it? So this was all about the nervous system. Now we will learn about the excretory system. My dear kids, we are going to learn about the excretory system. My dear kids, in order to keep the internal environment of our body stable, in order to keep the balance, in order to keep this environment of our body, internal environment of our body stable, excretion is important. Excretion is important. Now, what is this excretion? Excretion is the elimination of the wastes from our body. And the system involved in the process of the excretion is known as the excretory system. So, the function of the excretory system, that is to eliminate the waste products from our body. The function of our excretory system is to eliminate the waste products from our body. Waste products are in the form of the undigested food, in the form of the stool, in the form of urine, in the form of sweat, isn't it? In the form of carbon dioxide. So these are the different forms of wastes which are produced in the body, and the system which eliminates these wastes from our body is known as the excretory system. And the function of excretory system is to eliminate the waste products from the body. Today we are going to learn about the human excretory system. Human excretory system, it consists of kidneys, ureters, bladder, and the urethra. Kidneys, there is present a pair of kidneys. In humans, there is present a pair of kidneys which are dark red in color and are bean-shaped. Kidneys, they are present on both sides of the abdominal cavity and are protected by the floating ribs. Kidneys, they are protected by a pair of floating ribs. Now, what is the function of kidneys? Kidneys, they make the urine. Kidneys, they make the urine, and that urine, that is passed to the ureters, and from the ureters, the urine passes into the urinary bladder. In the urinary bladder, the urine is stored, and then it is passed out through the urethra. Got it? Then the urine is passed out through the urethra. So this is about the human excretory system. Besides urine, carbon dioxide and sweat, as I told you, these are also the waste products which are produced inside our body. These two need to be eliminated. Now, what are the organs which help in the elimination of these waste products? Lungs and skin. Lungs, they eliminate the carbon dioxide from our body. Carbon dioxide, that is the harmful gas which needs to be eliminated by our body, which needs to be eliminated from our body, because it's a harmful gas. So lungs, they eliminate the carbon dioxide from our body, and our skin, it eliminates the sweat. It removes the sweat from our body. Got it? So this was about the human excretory system. Now we learn about the reproductive system. My dear kids, now we are going to learn about the reproductive system. Reproductive system is the system which is involved in the process of reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce young ones of their own kind. Let me give an example. Like humans. Humans, they produce babies of their own kind. Isn't it? Humans, they produce human babies. Isn't it? They give birth to babies. Like a cat, it gives birth to kitten. It gives birth to someone of its own kind. Isn't it? Cat, it gives birth to kitten. Dog, it gives birth to puppy. Isn't it? Cow, it gives birth to calf. So, reproduction, it is the process by which living organisms, they produce young ones of their own kind. Now, what is the purpose of reproduction? Why reproduction? The purpose of reproduction is the continuity of the race. Like, let me give you an example. Let me explain this with the help of an example. Like, if a cat stops giving birth to the babies, there will be a day when all the cats, remaining cats, they will get extinct from this earth. There will be no cat, isn't it? There will be, in the same way, if dogs, they stop giving birth to their babies, there will be no dog. So, in order to maintain the race, in order to continue the race, reproduction is must. Reproduction is a must. So, purpose of reproduction is the continuity of the race. Now, my dear kids, I hope you have learned well about all these three systems and all other systems which we learned in the last videos. Here is an activity for you, that you will draw an excretory system on a piece of chart paper. Got it? So this was all about the human body. Inshallah, we will meet in the next video. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Fi amanillah.